Enid. I am Diana Hernandez, Communication Assistant for the City of Enid. With me is City Manager Jerald Gilbert. Thank you, Jill, for being on.
Yes, good afternoon, Enid.
Yes.
It's good to be here with you, Diana.
Thank you. Yes, and for another city update. So these are always fun.
Another week?
Yes, another week. First on the topic is road closures. Now on Maple, there has been a lot of work, a lot of construction and concrete work, but now there is a replacement, a relocation of a water line that's going to take 5 months. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, over on Maple Street, there is some future road work coming, and so one of the precursors to that is moving the water line that's underneath the street. I think specifically it's between 16th and 26th, I think, kind of in that area. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting for the folks in that area. That is one of the worst stretches of road in Enid. So we have heard, folks, it's taken a while, but the repair is coming, or the replacement is coming. And additionally, the one block further to the west on Maple, between the two high-rise buildings, is progressing nicely too. Mm-hmm. So that improvement should be done fairly soon. So, but the Maple Street improvement farther out east is exciting. It's we'll start with the water line, as you said, and then move on to tearing up the old pavement and laying new pavement. I'm
pretty sure a lot of people are going to be excited when that gets done. Now, project updates. There's going to be downtown, it started today actually, for the next 2 weeks, a closure for the Trail Connection project. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the downtown trail has been extended, is in the process of being extended from the football stadium, Selby Stadium, on France Street, up Monroe, over to State Street, and then it actually crosses at the mid-block crossway, or that area around the city complex. And right on, I guess, east of Brahms is where they're doing the work to pick up the trail connection there and go a couple of blocks up and jog over to connect, I believe, on Broadway with existing sidewalk. So there will be a way now, after that's complete, to take the trail all the way from Selby Stadium all the way to downtown, and to be able to get up on Broadway and get over to the connection that goes all the way out to the university. So we're excited about that. That came up back in February in a commission meeting with Commissioner Zell and some others, prompting for that improvement. And I've been very pleased with the way staff's been able to respond quickly to get that done. So it's going to be a great improvement when it's there. So bikers and walkers and people that use the trail, you've got a way to get downtown now and get across Garriott there.
That is pretty exciting.
Yes.
I like how that's all being connected into one main system. Now, let's talk about economic development and the downtown hotel, which is looking great. Do you have any further updates on when it might be done?
I don't have an exact date. However, it is looking more like it could be done later this year, maybe even before the end of the calendar year. I did go over there last week and spoke with Dr. Patel's mother, Hasu, who showed me around. I looked at every floor, and I was very impressed with the progress that was being made. The parking lot is largely poured now, as people can see. So there is a lot of activity going on, and I think they are wanting to get it open. And so it's going to be a fantastic improvement when it's open, and something for folks to look forward to. I would also add that I don't recall talking about it much, but the downtown art project is completed too. And I drove by last night, and the lights were on, and I could see the lights on the pathway, the lighted pathway, and the stars, or the lighting up in the under her wing section, were also on. So it looked very nice, particularly at night as I drove by. That's the first time I'd seen it. So that's exciting for people. As they're walking downtown on the new trail connection, they can also walk through there and take a different way to get up to Broadway to connect with the rest of the trail.
And speaking of downtown art, there are some artists like Kelly Thompson and her husband, also a new artist, Talks, that has been being adding to the culture in Enid with the murals. And it's really great to see that contribution to Enid just kind of blossom into like an art-centered culture. So that is really neat.
Yeah, just to follow up, there's a lot of murals, as you pointed out, but Main Street is also working on some art, some art work, some crosswalks with art on them, I guess, or art that's a crosswalk, and working in conjunction with the street department. So Main Street Enid got a grant for that, and
That's
I would
great.
anticipate that before the end of the year there's going to be a lot of new decorated crosswalks downtown. So that's something else for people to look forward to.
That is really neat. I like the blossoming of the culture of Enid, so it's really exciting to see all that happening. Now, next topic is public health. This is always a very hot topic and ongoing topic. For Garfield County, we have confirmed positive COVID cases is a number of 980. Deaths total is 12. Recovered 629, and active in Garfield County is 339. Now, what is there anything that you want to input to this? I know that if people who are concerned and want to talk to leadership or their ward leaders or commissioners, the mayor, we do have contact information on the website where they can find out not only the statistics, the numbers, but also contact who to go to with concerns. Can you relay on that?
COVID-19 is a very serious issue in Enid, Oklahoma, and in the state of Oklahoma and in the nation and the world. Continues to impact our lives and negatively. And so as the city tries to navigate through this difficult time, certainly now is a time that there is a lot of difference of opinion in the community. However, I want to say that our mayor, Mayor Pankinen, is concerned, and he's working on an emergency declaration to bring to a future meeting of the commission, maybe even as early as tomorrow, because of the numbers going up in the community. The numbers are higher than they've ever been. You said 330 something in the county, and I think there's about 322 or 23 active cases in the city of Enid. There was 290 in the city of Enid on Friday, so it's, or excuse me, 268, so it's jumped up about 50 some cases over the weekend. And so that's a concern to the mayor and all the commissioners, and has been, even though there's been a difference of opinion and direction from the commission on this topic so far. I think it's coming back to a meeting soon, maybe even as soon as tomorrow, to consider precautionary measures that the community can take. The community is very supportive and appreciative of the measures that businesses have taken, and of course the hospitals and the schools, and anything the city does would probably be along the lines of what the state guidelines are and federal guidelines. So that's really what I know at this point on that. Again, it's a serious issue. If citizens have concerns or thoughts about that, they should share those now with the mayor and commissioners. And I think we can put up a graphic and show their contact info. It's available on the website. And if anybody has difficulty getting them, they can always call the city and reach out to the receptionist or my assistant, Eden Gutierrez, will be very happy to provide that information to people so they can communicate with their representatives.
And so what you're seeing right now is the website to the commissioners and their contact information. You can, under the government tab, the menu, you can also find who is your ward commissioner and their contact information, where you can talk to them, reach out to them with concerns and even possible solutions. So they are welcoming input from residents. So.
Yeah, I would also like to let everybody know that our Garfield County Health Administrator, Maggie Jackson, is and has communicated directly with the mayor and commissioners, informing them about the status of the situation. I'll also be on a phone call today, as we've been talking about every Monday, with the mayor, with Maggie Jackson, the hospital administrators, and other leaders in the community. And so we'll be getting updated information there on the current situation, but we know that it's continuing to spike. So therefore, don't be surprised if you see the City Commission considering taking preventive action or action that could be helpful in preventing community spread or stemming some of the community spread.
Thank you, Jerald.
You bet.
Thank you. Now, for the upcoming study session, what are the topics that are going to be in the agenda?
Well, there's one main topic right now, and I only see one topic, although they can always talk about anything that's on the commission agenda. The The main event item is consideration of purchasing a building downtown for potential city use, for some city functions, but also maybe for some other public functions, like a youth activity center. The specific building we're talking about is the current Great Plains Bank building. And certainly it's being looked at as they look to build a new bank farther out west. That building may become available. So anybody interested in hearing more about that might tune into the study session where it'll be discussed. And we have some ideas about the improvements that might be necessary if the city were to use that building. And even if the city did enter into a transaction to purchase that building, it's likely that the bank will be there for a while because they've got to relocate. So that will take some time. So anyway, I anticipate a representative from the bank, probably Doug Parker, will be at the study session as well to help answer questions. So that's an interesting item that will be on the agenda. It gives the commissioners a chance to discuss the item. There's no action to be taken on it tomorrow night. It's in study session, of course, but there could be in the future. So if people have thoughts or considerations, comments about that, there's another thing that they can share with their commissioners, or they can come to the meeting either on Zoom or in person and voice those thoughts.
Thank you. Now, what's on the agenda for tomorrow's commission meeting?
Right now, there's several consent items for Call Lake easements. We continue to progress with Call Lake. We're well above 85% on the land easements. There's also a CARES Act resolution. The CARES Act money, as people know, has taken the form of many different things for the state and local governments. There was a rather large portion of money approved in the past, I believe in April, that initially we've used and reimbursed for some expenditures related to personnel leaves and any COVID-related expenditure. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, the guidance from the governor's office changed. A couple things happened. One, they told us that we have a significant amount of money. I think it's about $3.8 million that's available to be drawn upon. And they also told us that we could draw upon public safety salaries, for instance, for police and fire, if the commission passed a resolution that basically says that public safety personnel have spent a substantial amount of their time on COVID-related issues. And so that's what we're taking that resolution to council tomorrow because it allows us to probably be able to get all of that money. All of that money currently has to be used and reimbursement sought by November 1st or before, maybe by October 31st. So we have a short window, which is another reason why they told the whole state, all the communities, that public safety salaries are eligible with a commission resolution. So we'll be taking a look at that. We also know that COVID has impacted our folks in the community, potentially their jobs, their income earning capabilities. Unemployment's recently changed. I'm not sure what it is now. So people have been affected, not been able to pay rent, mortgages, and utilities in some cases. There has been a lot of, or there's been some help given from the community at large, other grants, and through our CDBG we had about a $267,000 CARES grant that was separate from the CARES money we have now, but this money that we have accessible now can also be used for the same thing. So there's an item on the agenda to approve, I believe it's $200,000 in additional monies to utilize with local agencies, specifically two we've used already with those CDBG monies, the Community Development Support Association and the Catholic Charities.
That's
and
great.
So that's a significant item that's on there. I think that's about it. Those are the main items on the agenda.
Great, thank you. Now, the place and the time for the study session and the commission meeting.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock. We've moved it to the Stride Center just so that if we have a large turnout, we're able to accommodate them better and responsibly, socially distancing. And the main meeting is at 6:30, Stride Bank Center.
And it's still going to be hybrid?
Yes. So people can either come in person or they can watch on Zoom. If they want to sign up to speak, they can do that in person at the meeting, or they can also do that on Zoom as well. And we will, typically the mayor calls on everybody that signs up, either way. and allows them a chance to make comments. And so if you're interested in coming to tomorrow night's meeting, please do, and feel free to sign up either in person or on the website.
And tell me about the Cyclic Fix app. There's been some confusion on what you can report or what you can request on the app, and can you relay a little bit about that? I know there's also a general concerns menu where you can, if you have any general concern that you can't find it in the 50 plus categories that's already in there, but can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, what I view Cyclic Fix as is a tool for citizens to help expedite action on common routine maintenance items around the city, whether it's something needs to be mowed, a pothole needs to be filled, there's graffiti on a building, those kind of things we can take really fast action. And it's a way for folks who have the app and or on the computer to quickly enter and take a picture of the item. Potentially you can use GIS too to help locate that for us. And then we try to rapidly respond to those items. What it does not work well for is for people to put wish list items on there, things that are very good to have. For instance, to put something in there about, hey, we'd like to see, I'll just throw out all of Main Street resurfaced. Those are things that may be valid, and we can certainly take that input, but they can't be acted on quickly because there's budgets, there's schedules. Those are large capital projects. Another example that we got recently that we probably weren't able to satisfy the person reporting, and on that, if that person's out there, what they'd asked for is they'd noticed that kids were crossing the street at Cleveland around Randolph, probably traffic from Waller School going home. And that is an issue. There is not a crosswalk at all in that area. And I probably did not adequately explain that yes, we can look at crosswalks, but crosswalks are more than just going out there and painting a crosswalk on the street. In fact, we can't really even do that now because we have other potential issues that come up from doing that. You got to have ramps and curbs, or curbs and ramps and domes at those intersections. Ultimately, you got to have pedestrian signals to go with that crosswalk, and then ultimately you want to have connecting sidewalks. None of that infrastructure is in place at Randolph and Cleveland, therefore nothing can happen there very fast. Doesn't mean we're not listening, doesn't mean that that's not a valid place for future consideration. It just means that we can't respond as quickly on items like that. Lead time is more like months and even more than a year on an item like that, whereas it could be a few days or less on a pothole or high grass and weeds or graffiti. So that's the difference I see. It's a great tool. I hope people continue to use it. I've seen an uptick because unlisted concerns or general concerns come to me, and I get a chance to see them and try to answer them, and ultimately my assistant, Eden Gutierrez, routes them out to the supervisors that can fix them quickly. So that's a long-winded deal. From your perspective, you guys implemented the Cyclic Fix app. Are you seeing the usage up on Cyclic Fix?
Absolutely. I run the numbers, and it's being used a lot. So, and it's really neat to see and kind of help. We're working on a Cyclic Fix kind of promotion to help relay the different categories and the neat functions that come with the Cyclic Fix. So if you need a ride, you can request your ride from EPTA on a Cyclic Fix app. So it's a really neat app to have in your pocket. So yeah, thank you.
It is, and so that's only one way, certainly, and it may be the best way. You can also call, you can email, there's other,
Correct.
You can show up at City Hall in person if you want to, but Cyclic Fix is an easy way to get us information and for us to respond quickly.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I do not have any questions online. Is there anything else you want to relay to residents that are watching before we close out?
No, I don't think so. I guess just one thing again related to COVID-19 as we look at upcoming events. Certainly events that are sponsored by the City of Enid, such as camping in the park.
Yes.
We're going to want, and we are going to probably cancel those events and or postpone them simply because of the uptick and wanting to avoid large gatherings of people. So if it's an event that the City of Enid is promoting, we're going to cancel or postpone. Other events put on by other people, we're certainly going to look at what protective measures, precautionary measures they have in place as we look forward to trying to support folks conducting events in the safest way possible in Enid. So bear with us.
Yes.
We'll see how things go, but as we always say, we will get through it together.
Absolutely.
And I can assure you that we're not at the beginning of this thing. We're certainly not at the end. Hopefully we're somewhere between the beginning and the middle. So
Right.
I'll see you next week, or Scott will see you next week.
That's right. And thank you, Enid residents, for watching. And if you have any concerns, make sure to contact us or your city ward commissioner. You can locate them under the government menu on our website, enid.org. And also join us for the commission meeting tomorrow at the study session at 5 p.m. and the commission meeting at 6:30. And of course, until next week, you guys have a great week. Thank you.